Hey there, Floss Tube. This is Cathy, the hands-on designer. I'm coming at you on a Tuesday morning with a video, and you're probably going, what? She only does videos about once a month, and what's this, like 3 in just a couple weeks? So I have a very good reason why I'm doing this video today. And okay, I'll let you in on my little secret. Well, number one, I knew it was on my to-do list that I needed to shoot a video because I always do one when we have new releases. But I actually had, okay, well, let me back up. I was actually interviewed last week, I think it was last Thursday, by phone for one of the reporters for our city's newspaper, the Sioux City Journal. And they're gonna run an article on me. I have no idea like what the whole spin on the article is or anything like that. So she asked a bunch of questions and I talked. And y'all know I can talk. I hope I made sense. But anyway, so when she ended the interview, she said, okay, so are you okay if we send a photographer out to your house? And, we'll do the whole social distancing thing, and it's just me out here, and he had a mask on and all that. So he came by earlier today. And so I had to like do my hair and put makeup on and wear something other than sweats. So I thought, I am filming this Floss Tube today because I am not wasting a day that I actually have makeup on. And I'm wearing something other than sweats, so sorry. So that's why I'm doing this today. So anyway, but I wanted to shoot this. I wanted to shoot a video this week anyway, because yes, I have a couple new releases coming out. So if you saw my Instagram and Facebook feed this morning, as well as Priscilla Blain's, you'll know that the newest chalk full design is coming out, and this one's called Bloom. It's a bunch of beautiful daisies. So I'm so excited about this one. And I have the cat joining me again, so hopefully she won't knock the camera over. But anyway, so here is my version of Bloom. This is the one that's on the cover. And again, I'll just give you a few of the details. This is, of course, the series that I've done several of them now with Priscilla Blain, chalk artist. She does the chalk drawing, and then I take the drawing and I turn it into something that you can stitch. So with most of mine, I would say, pretty much all of mine, I used the 32 count slate. It's from Fabrics by Stephanie. With the entire series, we've done just 5 colors in each one. So of course, we've got the chalk color from Gentle Art Sampler Threads. And then the other 4 colors are from Classic Colorworks. And I think we've got Lettuce Leaf, 4-Leaf Clover, Licorice Red, and Queen Bee. Now, you're gonna notice something's a little different about this one. This one has the red jar. And I'm saying it here and I'm going on the record. The red jar was Priscilla's idea. I think we were on the phone and we were kind of talking about the color palette for this one. She said something about, what do you think about a red jar? And I was like, okay, to be fair, this was like before market and I was just like trying to get things done. And the design I was actually already working on. But when she said the red jar, and I'm like, red jar, red jar. And I'm saying this like in my head, like, And so I'm like quickly on the side, like Googling red ball jar. Oh, hey, it is a thing. Now I have blue ball jars. I have gray ball jars. I have, clear. I've seen white. I've seen it green. I don't have any, but I've seen them. I have never seen a red ball jar. I have now. And then don't you know, and so she said red ball jar and I was like, yeah, okay, why not? Change it up. We're 6 designs into this and we want to give you something fun and new and interesting to look at. Of course, you've got that whole different design, but yeah, I thought that could be kind of cool. So thanks, Priscilla. And then it was funny because after we kind of said, yeah, let's do the red jar, like 2 or 3 days later on social media, it popped up. Somebody did, I think it was the hip hop with the red jar. And I looked at it and I went, well, isn't that really happy? So I liked it and I went, okay. I mean, I was willing to try it, but I was having a hard time seeing it. I am weird in that I design pretty much to final color. So that's why a lot of times we talk about the colors before I'm really deep into the design process, because this is what I get. Okay, that's what I work from. And you know, so, and I actually, true story, I designed the piece with these colors, with the blue ball jar and then the red bow. And even Bill, Mr. HOD, came up behind me one night when I was working, and he goes, I thought you were going to do a red jar. I'm like, don't worry. The jar will be red. The bow will be the lettuce leaf green, because I had the colors sitting there. So I just kind of had to start working them in my brain. Like, how is this going to go? How's this going to look? And then I got to the very end, and I was happy with the design. The flowers had so much movement. Everything was flowing really well. I liked the way the bow was going. And then I let it kind of sit for a little bit. And then I with my software, I can like flood the colors, change them out. And sometimes I do that. Sometimes it's an accident when I do it. I hit the wrong key, and it just makes a design go in a whole different direction. So I had the lettuce leaf and all the colors kind of programmed in, and I hit the flood icon on my program, and it just changed the colors. And I just looked at it on my screen, and I went, whoa. It was, I mean, literally that was, okay, I'm weird like that. It just was like, oh, that's cool. And I was just so excited to get stitching on it. So then I happened to be at Market, and I saw the lovely ladies at Just Another Button Company, and they do the pin mini for each one of these. And so with each one, there's been a blue ball jar, and then they've done different, usually one of the buttons is new, or it's a new combination. So I asked Cecile, I said, hey, big secret here. We're going to make this jar red. Could you redo the blue jar and make it red? So of course she did. And of course, then there's the daisy, and then you're going to have bees if you got daisies. Now I'm really tickled that this was the daisy they picked. I was kind of hoping that I have a little pull with this particular daisies. They know I like daisies. And then, well, funny, now I have a dog named Daisy. And so a couple years ago, I would think I was using this button or pin enough. They actually renamed it. It's Cathy's. If you look it up on the website, it's Cathy's Daisy. It's, for me, I was just like so honored that they named a button for me. And I thought, well, that's kind of like my own personal, that's like having your star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I don't know. I know it's goofy, but it means a lot to me that they would actually name a button or a pin after me. So that's Cathy's Daisy. So we have the red ball jar, Cathy's Daisy, and a bumblebee. Isn't that just cute? And it's just the perfect, I just love the way the colors came out with this one. So then, of course, we've got the slate, the pin mini, and then Lois from Lady Dot Creates has hand dyed all the twill that I've used throughout this whole series so far. And I think when I told her the color I wanted it, she was probably like, you want it what? And I said, trust me, because a lot of times when we work, I give her the hand-dyed color name. So I gave her lettuce leaf, but I also give her like a DMC reference. So she just nailed it. She just nailed it. And if you remember when I did the Q&A video with Mr. HOD and I showed my bag, the Choose Happy bag for the Be Well and Stitch movement, and I used some of Deb Strain's Cultivate Kindness fabric. I originally bought it for this, and I just, it's just got it's kind words, cultivate kindness, gather, happy, grow a life you love, live. I love the words that are on it. And with the daisies, the fresh spring daisies, it just was the perfect color, number one. And I like a fairly tonal pattern. I like it to read from a distance it reads fairly solid. But if you get up close, it's those fine details that just give it a little something without overwhelming it. And I did my typical finish, 8x10, ready-made frame, covered the board with the fabric. There's a little batting in there. I put a fun print on the back. I'll show you more about that one in a minute. And then I did my detail with the Tim Holtz clip, and then of course the bow, and then the pin mini. I love this finish. To me, it's quick, it's fun, it's inexpensive. It's a great way to customize what you do, and when you're doing all the seasons, and truthfully, now I did buy a new frame for each one just because these travel and trunk shows and whatnot, and the frame, $9.99, and then wait till it's half off. So an inexpensive way. Now I will say, I'm rather bummed. I don't know that the Hobby Lobby's carrying this frame anymore, but just get a white frame you like. I just wanted something that was just simple and clean lines for this series. So but yeah, you could get just one frame and then pop the different seasons out because it's all the same. So there you go. It's the Bloom jar, the red ball jar. So, with each of those, Priscilla draws the jar, and then she draws a small for me to translate as well into cross stitch. And so this one, here's our Bloom pillow. Again, same colors. I just love this gentle, the daisies and the leaves. It's such a pretty design. It's such a pretty drawing to go from. I just like it a lot. And I love putting the little added texture in the daisies. And again, similar finish to all the ones I've done in the series. This is another Deb Strain fabric. It's also from the Cultivate Kindness line. I used it on the front and the back. And then this is the Lady Dot hand-dyed trim, which is named Bloom. We always name she knows I mess the names up of these trims enough. She got smart and she's just naming it for the chart now. So this is Bloom trim. And then of course I had another pin mini from Just Another Button Company, and tucked that in there. I love, and then had to, a little bit of touch of baker's twine. And I've done the top finish of the pleated twill tape before. I think I did this on the Boo chalk full. So I've kind of used the twill tape in a similar manner on each of the pillows, but just kind of slightly different each time. I've repeated a few because, after a while, there's only so many ways you can do twill tape, but I still just love it. I'm sorry, I just love the way those colors worked out. The Deb Strain fabric, the Cultivate Kindness, that whole line just speaks to me. And when this, before like a lot of things closed down, I had to go up to the Shanty Stitcher. It's my local stitch shop. She's in Beresford, South Dakota. Give Jenny a call if you need something. She had this fabric, and we kind of knew things were going to be closing up, and I knew I had projects I needed to get fabric for finishing and whatnot. So I went up before, we had to go to curbside, and I had a stack of things that I needed to have, I needed finishing fabrics for, including classes, you name it. So this was in the stack, and that's when she had the Deb Strain line in her shop. And we held it out, and of course at that time I didn't have the twill tape yet. So I was kind of going mentally I'm like, oh, this is going to be cool. And that probably sounds, I don't know, I don't mean to sound like I just love my stuff, but I just love the colors in this. It just makes me so happy just to look at. Doesn't that make you happy? So yeah. So what's really kind of fun if you stand back and look at this is how many people are involved in the process behind these. I mean, from Priscilla doing the drawing, me turning it into cross stitch, and then you've got the ladies of Just Another Button Company, the twill tape, the fabric, just everything. And then, I don't know, it's kind of fun when it all comes together like that. So I'm so excited about this one. It will start shipping next week to shops. I'm giving shops a few more days than I normally give them. Like normally I release information towards the end of the week, and then start shipping like Monday, Tuesday. I'm actually giving them a little bit over a week because I know not everybody's in their shop. I know some I will be shipping to their homes. Some I'll be shipping, I don't know. So I'm giving them plenty of time to get back to me because I want to make sure that, we get it in the right hands and that they can get you your chart. So you're going to kind of see this before it actually starts hitting the mail. I don't know, this whole thing just kind of tickles me. So there you go. That is Bloom Chock Full. And what do we have next? Oh, the next two in the Secret Santa. So you know the deal with Secret Santa. Holly St. Nick and the Santa Key came out at market. All right, those were the first two. And so you know the deal with these is there's 8 charts, but 9 Santas, because the secret is that you're going to get a little section of each chart. On each chart, you're going to get a little section to make the 9th and Secret Santa. So it's a Weeks Dye Works color palette with some Krynic for a little Santa sparkle. And then there is a template on my website. Now this is 32 count vintage Tiffany, fabrics by Stephanie. A lot of shops have found substitutions if they're not using this. I'm starting to see some of you stitch this out there. One gal sent me an email and said she's using a mint green. Oh, I can't wait to see that. Just make sure when you post, make sure you, hashtag hands-on design or hashtag Secret Santa. I love seeing the changes that you make. I love seeing your stitches. Of course, the Just Another Button Company holly bead at the bottom. There is a tutorial on my website about how I attach the bead as I was going through the finishing process. Now, I did a basic gray. I don't know what line this is from. It's a couple years. I've had it for the Fat Quarter for a while, but that's what I used for the back. I just love the colors with it. So a couple of, I hate to have to edit my oopsie page, but it happens. So my oopsie page got updated yesterday. Okay, small minor things. All right, on the chart, okay, on the holly at the bottom, you'll see on the cover picture, you can see I've got little branches on my holly, much like I have up here, just a little back stitching. It got left off the chart. I don't know how. There's no spell check for branches. It wouldn't tell me, I'm missing. And you look at these things for 50 million different little details. And there's always a new one. So I did note that on the oopsie page. And what you can just do is take one of the little branches from there and do it on the little holly down there if you want to. If you don't want to, it's okay. It doesn't need the branches. I just thought it was a nice touch. So that's the oopsie on Holly St. Nick, that Mr. Holly, Mr. Jolly. And then, of course, I talked about it in a previous video. The holly, what's the holly at the bottom? What's the deal with that? On the chart, it's the holly under the M in problem. Isn't it kind of funny that it's under the word problem? Is over to the right, 1 stitch too far. So just scooch that whole thing over. And you'll be just fine. So very minor fixes. Of course, I will have the second printings will be fixed. The masters are already fixed. So when we go to have to do any reprints, we'll be good. But those corrections are made on the oopsie page on the website. The other thing I did talk about, and I talked about this a little bit in the video, and hopefully it wasn't too confusing. So with the Secret Santa, you're getting about 8 to 9 rows a time on each chart, okay? So I'm gonna hold this up just so you can't see the chart. So on Holly St. Nick at the bottom, it says part 1 of Secret Santa. Now, it's the other thing. It says it's 31 by 60. Well, it's not. That's the stitch count for the final Santa. It's not 31 by 60. It's 41 by 60. It's the same size as the other ones. But we're going to start stitching the Secret Santa from the bottom and work our way up, okay? You're going to get about 8 rows at a time. After the first one, there'll be 1 row of overlap. It'll have gray shading over it. Now, when I export the files, it included those dark lines. Okay, so yes, I'm kind of giving. So, and then when I did the next one, sometimes this computer program is very random and it moved where the dark lines were. So if you line this one up to this one, the dark lines don't match up. Okay, now from side to side, they do match up. It's like 4 1/4 inches long. Match your outside edges up, not the dark lines inside. I feel like I'm sorry. It's goofy. It must be, you know, the fact that I'm not wearing sweats and I'm dressed up and I feel somewhat more professional than I usually do. But anyway, so what I've done on the 2 that are released now, sorry, I'm going to remove the dark lines. So you're not like, whoa, these don't line up. But if you match the outside edges, the 4 1/4, if you line those up, you should be good to go. And then there's always that 1 row of overlap. So, so yay, sorry about that. But, oh, you probably want to see the new ones, don't you? So, Holly St. Nick, he's got a lot of holly and he's pretty jolly. No chimney, no problem, because Santa's got a key. So, here's this one, and I showed you in the last video, I gave you a little sneak peek. Silent night? Yes, that is a question. Because how silent could that night be if Santa's blowing on that big horn? I just love this one. I love this Santa. He's, I don't know. I love how he's kind of flying in from the side. And of course, you know, I love my little houses down there. And that music's just flowing all over. Can you imagine somebody, they're probably knocking on the ceiling. Hey, Santa, would you stop that? So there you go, Silent Night. If you don't like the question mark, just leave it off. We actually had a debate one night at dinner. Do I put the question mark on or do I not put the question mark on? It's kind of weird. Silent Night? It is a question. So there you go. I just love Silent Night. So then the next one is Merry and Bright. The lights are so bright, Santa's gotta wear shades. I just love him. I don't know. I just love those big sunglasses. Again, you got your little holly bead at the bottom. There's probably of all of the designs, there's the most maybe metallic on this one because I did make the bulbs and then all just the little twinkly little lights. Those are all the Krynic braid. Now, do you have to use the Krynic braid? No, you don't have to use the Krynic braid. I'd like you to use the Krynic braid, but you don't have to. Krynic number 4 braid is very easy to work with. I get a lot of people go, metallics, oh, I hate them. Well, number 4 braid is not hard to work with at all. Now, the colors that I chose are very similar to, like that red is a metallic, and it's very similar to the red Weeks Dye Works in the color palette. So if you don't like, and all the colors, the red, the blue, the gold, there are similar floss colors in the palette. Just use the floss if you don't want to use the metallic. But I just think it's the metallic that just adds a fun little, just kicks it up a little bit. And I just love, that's like Grandpa Santa. I don't know. I just love those glasses. Kind of reminds me of that. Is it a George Thorogood song? Something gotta wear shades. I don't know. That song kind of just, that line from that song just kept going through my head the whole time I was designing shades. So, and then just to show you where the metallic is on the Silent Night, I'm gonna have to say it that way every time now, Silent Night. The horn is the gold, and then the sleeves, you'll notice, like kind of where he's, when you work with a limited color palette, you have to get creative sometimes with shading. So I did his sleeves in the metallic. It's hard to, can you see? No, it just gets blurrier. But anyway, so the red's just slightly deeper, but it was enough of a change to give the arms the definition from the coat, which worked out really well. So you're getting 2 more sections now of the 9th and Secret Santa. So here we are so far. Here's what we got. How you doing on these? Make sure you post pictures. I love to see them. And I am going to do a video on, there is, like I said, there's a template. Okay, like, there we go. Yay. I look like I'm holding my medals. I just think they're so cute. I am going to do an actual video tutorial on how I attach the beads. It's very simple. There is a paper static tutorial on the website, as well as, of course, the template. Now, the template is sized for 32 or 16 count. So you just have to kind of make it a little, blow it up, shrink it if you change the count of the fabric. That's all you have to do. So there you go. Those are my new releases. You've got the Bloom from Chock full, and then you've got the next two in the Secret Santa. So thanks for letting me, you know, make use of my good hair and makeup day and film a video earlier. God, is that pathetic or what? Or else I was going to have Mr. HOD in it again. But seriously, I was upstairs after the photographer left, and I thought, I'm not wasting you know, putting makeup on. But, and people, I don't wear a lot, so people are probably like, she's wearing makeup? Yeah, this is for me. But anyway, and you're getting a different camera angle because mostly I had to, okay, when I found out they were coming to photograph in the studio, I like went on the to-do list, clean the studio. I think lose 40 pounds was on there, but yeah, that didn't happen. And then, and so I thought, oh, I could actually show this camera angle. This is a camera angle you probably won't ever see again because it's usually not that clean. That's the desk where I sit. That's my computer where I sit and I do a lot of the designing. I'm actually sitting at one of I call it the creative desk. That's kind of where I just sort of, some days I just clear it off and I just draw away and I play with color and I play with linen and I play with thread. So that's part of my job description, right? Anyway, well, I hope that everybody is doing well. I feel like it's been fun to kind of do these videos just a little bit more often. I'm not saying I'm going to be able to keep it up, but I sure am going to try. Thank you for the great feedback on the tutorial. I've gotten some comments and suggestions for future tutorials, and I hear you. So we're gonna get going on those, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch, number one, and leave a nice comment and a little thumbs up. And I'm gonna let you go there. I'm gonna go upstairs and get back into my sweats, probably wash the makeup off the face and get to work. So in the meantime, enjoy the stitch, call your shop, make sure that you are signed up to receive your, I'll go this way, to receive your Bloom. And then of course, keep stitching on your Secret Santa. Enjoy the stitch. Bye-bye.